Gordon's hill was the biggest of all, and it was covered in thick, thick snow.
Gordon's hill isn't too steep for me. I shall steam over it. I am strong. I am the best.
But Gordon didn't feel so strong anymore, and he didn't feel the best. Gordon puffed against the snow.
Snow is soft, and I am strong. It won't bother me.
But the snow wasn't soft. It had become a giant snowball. It grew bigger and bigger. Gordon started to huff slower and slower. He thought his boiler was going to burst.
Oh, my!
Just then, Thomas chuffed up behind Gordon.
Thanks for clearing the tracks, Gordon. Now I can deliver the firewood faster.
Then there was trouble. The giant snowball was too big and too heavy. It started to push Gordon back down the hill.
Look out, Thomas!
Cinders and ashes!
Gordon and his trucks rolled back faster and faster. Thomas chuffed back faster and faster. He slipped into a siding, and Gordon rolled round a bend.
The giant snowball will surely miss us now.
But Gordon was wrong. The giant snowball rolled down the track and crashed and bashed into Thomas.
Help!
Gordon saw Thomas and his truck of firewood lifted high in the air and derailed. Now it was Thomas who looked like a giant snowball. Luckily, no one was hurt. Gordon felt terrible.
I'm not strong, and I'm not the best. It's a disaster.
Gordon steamed slowly to Thomas.
I'm sorry, Thomas. I'll huff my hardest to help you.
Gordon heaved and hauled. He pushed and puffed, but the snow was too heavy. The snow was too thick. Gordon could not shove through it to help his friend.
I'm not strong enough, Thomas. I'll find Rocky. He's stronger than me.
Gordon found Rocky at Brendam Docks.
Hello, Thomas. I'll have you back on the tracks in no time.
Soon, Thomas was no longer a snowball. He was a bright blue engine again.
Thank you, Rocky. Now I must deliver my firewood. I'm very late. The station masters will be waiting, and they'll be very cold.
I'll help you, Thomas.
What about your very important job?
I delivered my trucks to the docks. Now I can help you with your very important job.
Thomas raced into Knapford Station. Hero was waiting, all alone. Thomas gasped.
Cinders and ashes! I haven't found a welcome present for Hero, and I haven't told anyone about the party. This won't make Hero happy.
Thomas felt terrible. Then his boiler bubbled and his wheels whirred.
Hello, Hero. Goodbye, Hero.
And Thomas steamed swiftly out of the station. Thomas puffed to Farmer McColl's.
Emily, chuff as fast as you can to Knapford. The Fat Controller is having a welcome party for Hero. Tell everyone you pass.
Thomas, I've had a marvellous idea for a special present for Hero. I'm sure he would like a bright, shiny dome. Victor must have one.
Thomas was stern.
Thank you, Emily. Now is not the time to find presents. You must hurry.
And Thomas chuffed quickly away. Mavis, Toby, James and Henry were still at the quarry.
You must all chuff to Knapford as fast as you can for Hero's welcome party.
Thomas, I think I know exactly what Hero would like as a special present. A new glowing lamp. That would be very special.
Thomas was firm.
Thank you, Henry. Now is not the time to find presents. You must hurry.
And Thomas pumped his pistons and puffed away.
Kevin, please tell all the engines to race to Knapford for Hero's party.
My friend, Kevin and I have been thinking, what about a new, shiny buffer for Hero?
I think Hero would find that very special. Don't you think so, boss?
Thomas?
Thomas knew what he thought.
I think now is not the time to find presents. Thank you, but you must tell the engines to hurry, please.
And Thomas pumped his pistons and puffed away. Thomas clickety-clacked down the track this way and that, telling his friends all about the party. Thomas puffed into Knapford Station. His face was red and his firebox glowed.
Thomas, where have you been? Hero's welcome party is almost over.
I'm sorry, sir. I was trying to find you a welcome present, Hero. Something special from Sodor. But I couldn't find anything. I'm sorry.
Hero smiled.
Thomas, my friend, you must not worry. My welcome present is right here. Being with my friends is the biggest present of all. And the most special present from Sodor. There is nothing more special.
Then Thomas smiled and smiled. He knew Hero was right, and so did all his friends.
Hello, James. I don't have a lot of jobs today. Shall I deliver your heavy load of wood and barrels for you? You can stay here at the washdown. Then you'll be perfectly polished for the party.
James thought this was a very good idea.
Thank you, Thomas.
So James was uncoupled from the heavy flatbed of wood, and Thomas was coupled up. The flatbed was heavy. Huffing and puffing, Thomas set off for the docks. Thomas chuffed back into the docks.
You again. What are you doing with that wood?
This flatbed is very heavy. I'm sure you can't lift it.
Cranky looked at the flatbed of wooden barrels.
I'm sure I can.
Cranky's hook swung low over the wood. Thomas watched and waited. With a creak and a crank and a crank and a creak, Cranky raised the flatbed into the air. Thomas's boiler buzzed.
Told you so.
You're still creaky cranky.
And you're still Tiny Thomas.
That made Thomas very cross.
I will prove Cranky wrong and still have time to deliver the eggs. I'm sure Henry had an even heavier load. I'll go and find Henry.
So Thomas steamed stormily away. Thomas found Henry waiting by the coal hopper for his special coal.
Hello, Henry. I don't have a lot of jobs today. Shall I deliver your heavy load of straw bales for you? Then you can wait here for your special coal.
Henry thought this was a very good idea.
Thank you, Thomas.
So Henry was uncoupled from the heavy flatbed of straw bales, and Thomas was coupled up. The flatbed was very heavy. Huffing and puffing, Thomas set off once more for the docks. Soon, Thomas puffed back into the docks.
You again? Now what are you doing with those straw bales?
This flatbed is very, very heavy. I'm sure you can't lift this.
Cranky looked at the flatbed of straw bales.
I'm sure I can.
Cranky's hook swung low over the straw. Thomas watched and waited. With a creak and a crank and a crank and a creak, Cranky raised a flatbed of straw into the air. Thomas's funnel fizzed.
Told you so.
You're still creaky cranky.
And you're still Tiny Thomas.
That made Thomas even crosser. More than ever, Thomas wanted to prove Creaky Cranky wrong. He had to find the heaviest thing he could.
Hello, Thomas. You look happy. What's your special?
It's a lion.
Flat my funnel. How exciting. I only have to deliver fresh fish.
I think my lion would really like fresh fish. May I have some for him, Edward?
Of course.
So Thomas's driver put some fresh fish into the lion's crate.
Thank you, Edward. I must hurry now. The mayor is waiting for the Lion of Sodor.
Edward was surprised.
clattering carriages. Stop, Thomas. The Lion of Sodor isn't it?
But Thomas didn't stop, and he didn't listen. Then Thomas saw Toby.
Hello, Thomas. You look happy. What's your special?
It's a lion.
Buff my boiler. How exciting. I only have straw in my trucks.
I'm sure my lion would really like some soft straw to lie on. May I have some for him, Toby?
Of course.
Thomas's driver put some soft straw into the lion's crate.
Thank you, Toby. I really have to hurry. The mayor will be waiting for the Lion of Sodor.
Toby was surprised.
Oh no, trembling trucks. Stop, Thomas. The Lion of Sodor isn't a...
But Thomas didn't stop, and he didn't listen. Thomas's pistons pumped and his wheels whirred. He couldn't wait to deliver his lion. He chuffed his hardest and raced on towards Knapford Station. At last, Thomas puffed proudly into Knapford. The Fat Controller was there, and so were the other engines.
I'm very excited, Thomas. This is a big day. The Lion of Sodor is here.
Thomas was uncoupled from the flatbed, and he pulled away to join the other engines. The workman carefully opened the lion's crate. Then the engines gasped. The Lion of Sodor wasn't a real lion at all. It was a statue. And now it was covered in sticky syrup, fresh fish and straw. The Fat Controller was cross.
Thomas, this is a terrible mess.
Gordon and James laughed. Thomas felt very silly.
I'm sorry. I thought I had a real lion in my crate. I wanted to take extra special care of it. I didn't know the Lion of Sodor was a statue.